Hey guys, it's Hanina. Sorry I missed the video last week. My goal for 2021 is to do a video every week, if not one, possibly two. And yeah, I got kind of sick. I wasn't feeling too great, so unfortunately, I just couldn't drag myself to do the video. I mean, I still am not feeling too well, so please excuse my appearance. Eyes is puffy. I don't feel too great. But I definitely wanted to stay on top. I don't want to make excuses this year. I want to stay on top of everything that I want to do this year, and continue to make these videos. So let's get into it. This video is about, after a breakup. I mean, after a long term relationship breakup, um, some of the things that I do that I feel like will help you move forward in a relationship and not keep paddling back on what coulda, woulda, shoulda happened. Sometimes you just have to move forward. If things are meant to be, then God will bring them into in fruition. But if not, then they're just not meant to be. So, if you haven't watched my video, Dating Your Mama's Boy, part one and part two, please take a look at those. I was in a long term relationship that ended kind of abruptly. Um, yeah, 5 year, 6 years. I'm gonna say 6 year relationship that shit, it damn near was going on 7 now that I think about it. Yeah, that ended kind of abruptly. And I honestly feel like one of the reasons why that relationship ended abruptly, like the way that it did, is because of outside influences. Now, to get the backstory on that, you're going to have to watch those two videos because I don't want to go back into that story again. But this is basically about, like, all right, now, what do you do when a long term relationship doesn't work out, especially when you're in your middle age? Well, yeah, middle age. And your clock is ticking. Like, what do you do after that? Because you know men are just different. They on to the next really quick, but women are, we are a little bit different. We're gonna go through our emotions first and be sure of what we want to do next before we make the next move. So things are just different. But for me per se, in that situation, ever since I was a young girl, like any little relationship that I had or didn't work out, even a little crush, whatever it was, I would always, when it didn't work out or my feelings with her, I would always journal what happened. And that's really, really important for me because so much is going on. Like when you're going through a relationship that a long term relationship or a relationship with a person is separated from a person that you love, it honestly feels like they have passed away. Like honestly. So you're going through like a lot of grief. You're going through grief, you're going through anger. A lot of bad things have been said the last couple of, weeks or days or months in that relationship. You get to see somebody that you never thought would be the person before you. Like you think you know the person because you've been with them for so long, but you have no idea when people are breaking up with you, they become somebody that, I mean, I guess that they will come their true selves. I don't know, but it's mind blowing to me. So for me, it's important for me to remember those things because as time goes on, things get better, which is great, which is a great thing, right? So I would jot down, all right, the last, weeks he was being rude, he was being nasty, he was being condescending, he would do certain things, right? I would jot these things down. So, that was that. That was the end of the relationship. He said he wasn't happy, this, that, and the third, whatever the relationship was. Like just write down everything that he expressed to you or she expressed to you at the end of the relationship. It's all gonna make sense in a minute. So as you're going through this, yes, it's okay. I want you to cry. I want you to cry it out. I don't care what people look. Oh, just forget them and go on another date. And you're pretty or you're handsome and you'll find somebody new. That's nice. Yeah, you will eventually find somebody new. But in the same token, you need to cry out and get over the person that you're with. It's really important to that you were with. It's really important to get them out your system completely before you move on to the next. Because what you don't want to do is drag any of that bad energy into your new relationship because it's not fair to the new person. So you may not know if it's the case where that person broke up with you. You may not know that they may have checked out months ago and you may have not even realized that. So in their case, yeah, they may be with somebody already. They may be posting that person. Shit, they might even be engaged to be married. And yes, it may hurt because you spent a lot of time, hours, and energy with this person. So yeah, it may hurt. It may hurt like hell. But you know what? That may not be the person God has for you. Because one thing is for sure, if a person loves you, they won't leave you. No matter what. They're gonna make sure they try everything in their will to make it work. They're gonna express open communication on how they're feeling before they decide to pull the plug. There's certain steps they will make to try to make it work before they decide this is just not it for me and keep it moving. So what I need some of you women to understand as well is you may feel like, oh my God, that must have been my husband, or I spent so much time, I showed him how I could be a wife. Let me tell you something, you could cook, clean, wash clothes. I mean, you can do it all. You can show a person you can be a wife, but that does not mean they're gonna make you their wife. You're just not it for them. You have to be that it person for them. No matter what you're going through in life, you just have to be that it person. So we need to understand that you gotta just let them go. But in the process, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to cleanse yourself. It's okay to let all of that out, all your emotions out. It's okay to be angry because that oh man, that angriness is real. Like, I mean, it's not okay to want to try to get them back and have revenge. That's not okay, especially if you're God's child. Sometimes you got to let go and let God handle that. It's not okay. Sometimes I think to myself, I'm guilty of it myself. Sometimes I think to myself like, oh, I hope one day he gets married, his wife cheated on him, or I hope one day he gets married and his wife just used him for his money. Like, I think of like the craziest things because I just be like so angry sometimes, like, because I know I loved him with my soul and my heart and my whole being. So this is the thing: when you know you love somebody and you gave them your whole heart, your soul, your whole being, it doesn't even matter. Let them walk away because everybody's not gonna love you the way that you need to be loved. So they think they found somebody better than you, but I don't care how much money that girl got, or how much money that man got, what car that man driving, what house that girl got, what career that girl got. That does not mean that person's gonna love the person that you were with the way you love them, and that's something that's priceless. So we can't really count material things. Yes, it makes life a little bit easier, but you really can't count material things. So I think that's also a struggle because sometimes you think about the life you coulda, woulda, shoulda had with that individual, especially if y'all was together for a really long time. So that's when the journaling comes in. So when you start getting angry, when you start getting upset, when you start getting mad, journal your thoughts, journal the things that they said, the things that they did to you that you didn't like at that moment. Because as time goes on, you're going to start to feel better. You're going to start to forgive. And what you don't want to do is pedal back into, thinking you did so much wrong. And that's probably why they didn't want you, and how you can possibly fix things. And it may have not been you. So you want to be able to read back on those things to just give you hindsight on, well, no, he made the decision and I'm going to let him hang himself and keep it moving. So, it's really important to read back at those things because as time goes on, it's okay to forgive. You must forgive. So, when you forgive, you let go. It's for you. When you forgive, it's not for them. It's not for them. It's for you. So you let go and you be able to move on with your life. And that's, really important. But don't ever forget. I think it's really, really important to not forget how people treat you. Because when you start to forget about how they treat you, you can fall back into the hamster wheel again. So that's one of the reasons I journal, because in the past I've learned that I used to fall back into the hamster wheel, but then when I would come across my journaling, I would be like, what am I doing? Like, why am I even talking to this person? Like, this person doesn't even deserve to be my friend. It gets to the point sometimes where you need to acknowledge the fact that, this person doesn't deserve to be my friend. And my ex wanted to be friends, and I thought about it. At first I was like, all right, cool, whatever, because we really we had issues, but a lot of the issues was from the outside influences. So for me, it was like, all right, cool, because we have a great bond. We talk about a lot of things. It's cool. Like, I felt like we were best friends too. But then I thought about it, like, hold up, if you could go on with your life without me being your wife, you don't really care to have me in your life, because that was the purpose of this relationship to begin with. I didn't come to play, I came to stay, and you chose, nah, this is okay. So with that being said, you just have to let people go. And it's not that some days I wake up upset, still upset, mad, hate him, but then I'm just like, what, he had to make the choice that he had to make for him, and nothing I can do about it but accept it. So, but what I don't want to do is be your friend, because like, I just feel like people just say that to just try to, like, I guess, soften the blow. Like, I want to be friends. No, I don't even want to be your friend. I don't even want no parts of you. I want to go on with my life. You can go on with your life, and that's that. You didn't choose me. After a whole 6, 7 years, you didn't choose me. You wasted my time. And honestly, when people do that, I think they know. They know. There's no way in the world that they did not know that you were not the one. One day it clicked in their head, this is not the one. But in the meantime, they kept you around for whatever it is that you could have possibly offered. And that's the part that makes me angry. If anything, that's the part that makes me so upset, because one thing in life we can't get back is time. So meanwhile, this person may not be for you, but you're holding on to them, which that could have been somebody else's wife. Like, so now you're holding on to somebody else's wife. I could have met my husband last year or the year before that, but because he was playing with me, having me thinking we were gonna have a future, which made it even worse, because he damn sure was making plans like, oh, we're gonna have a future, we're gonna do this, that, and the third, and then apologized like, oh, I'm sorry for leading you on, just when he felt like, nah, I just don't want to do this no more. So I have every right to be angry, but I do have to find it in my heart to forgive. And I think it's really important to just put yourself first. It's very hard. Like, I think people be trying to make it seem like, when people I watch videos about this, people make it seem like, oh, it's so easy, like, just get over it, focus on you. It's a process. It's definitely a process. Depending on how long you've been with that person, you're gonna cry, you're gonna hurt. It's a pain that is undescribable. But I think, in a way, like, it just came across my mind the other day. It's a If you go through that hurtful and that pain, in a way, it's a plus for me. It's like a pro for me, because after I go through that and once I get through it, it's no way in living hell that I'm looking back. Because it's just like, if a person that you love can put you through something like that, why would you even want to be with them? Think about that. Why would you want to go backwards to that after they put you through all that heartache and pain, and then didn't even give you, some people just don't even know how to communicate. Adults don't know how to communicate. Like, I felt like a lot of that could have been avoided if there was communication throughout the relationship. But some men that are really boys don't know how to communicate. So unfortunately, things end in a terrible way. And I wouldn't wish this type of hurt on anybody. Like, going through a heartbreak is like the most terrible thing ever. I honestly thought I would never go through it again in life. Like, I honestly thought this was it for me. Like, I thought this was my husband. I'm getting older, so I honestly thought I would never feel heartbreak ever again. I honestly thought that, and that was the last person in the world that I thought would disappoint me. So, I mean, I think that would change me a little bit as a person, but because I'm getting older, I can't let somebody else decisions dictate how my life is going to go going forward. So my advice to any other ladies out there that's going through like a heartbreak, like, it's hard to say, oh, just focus on you, because you have to get through that stage of, it be heartbreak. Sometimes even depression takes a play, and then you got everyday life shit you got to deal with. You got to go to work still. You still got to, take care of your house, chores, stuff that you have to do. If you have kids, you still have to take care of your kids. But that heartbreak is like no other, and you're gonna have to just let it pass. Unfortunately, there's no cure to that. Like, you're gonna have to let that pass. You're gonna have to let time pass, which solely sucks. Like, but I mean, I've lost people in my life, like really lost people that are no longer here on this earth. And with time, you don't forget. Things do get better. But I think what makes it worse with heartbreak is that the person is still here. So they still here, moving on, probably gonna go get married, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why he decided to marry this next chick that he met and he only with her for like 6 months to a year? Nothing's wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. You're just not it for him. And that's just that. Everybody has their person. Sometimes you have to accept that and be patient that God has what he has in store for you. And I honestly think it's healthy to just move on completely, because before you met that person, you didn't know them, right? And you were fine. Now you had a relationship with them, and that person decided to go their separate way, or you decided to go your own way, and now you just move on with life. Because truly, in life, like, even when somebody passes away, life doesn't stop. Life goes on. So each day, I don't care how. I mean, each task may seem so simple. Going to the bathroom may seem, so hard. Going to the bathroom may seem hard. Washing your dishes may seem hard. Taking a shower may seem hard. Getting dressed may seem hard. Going to work may seem hard. But you got to think about you and your future, because that person clearly didn't give it in. So you have to think about you and your future, but you also need to be smart and understand that some people just don't deserve to be in your life. Like, even if y'all break up on mutual terms and they still want to be friends, the fact that they wasted your time, they don't deserve to be in your life. And that's just that. I'm trying to think about anything else that I may be possibly missing. But stay in touch with friends and family. I'm an introvert, so I don't have that many friends and family. But for me, I'm going back to school. I'm taking up a new trade. I'm learning something new. I want to learn a new language. It's just things that I've always wanted to do. That, so I'm keeping myself busy. So during this pandemic, I'm home, which sucks. But I am just like, I'll just come up with a schedule. Like, just because you're going through stuff don't mean you gotta like sleep all day. Like, no, you need to start, like, I need to start scheduling myself. Like, all right, well, from 9 to such and such time, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna work out. Or from this time, I'm gonna meal prep. Or from this time, I'm gonna clean my house, mop my floors, dust, whatever. And from this time to that time, I'm a study. I'm a, I don't know, do some research, or, and it's okay to watch a movie or two, but just don't binge watch a movie or two, and be careful about what you're putting into your mind. Don't watch a whole bunch of romance or marriage movies, or, things that just going to get you more upset and mad. Oh, and last but not least, how could I forget this? So when I was young and I used to go through my little breakups and stuff like that, I would go out with my friends and have a cool little drink or whatever. I have not had one drink since my last breakup, and I think that's really, really important, because you don't want to do anything negative. You don't want to drink. You don't want to use drugs. I don't use drugs, period. But you don't want to drink, use drugs. You also don't want to. It's okay to cook yourself something good that you love, but you also don't want to lose yourself and just eat whatever you want and just give up on life. You don't want to do that, because your life still has to go on. You want to take care of you. Put yourself first and take care of you. That does, and I hear that a lot, but I don't. That doesn't mean that when you were in a relationship that you wasn't putting yourself first. You just were also thinking about others. You had a kind heart, and sometimes people take your kindness for weakness. They really do, and sometimes people have to lose you to find out what real love is. Unfortunately. So I don't know. Maybe I did my job in that last relationship, and my job is now done, and that's why the relationship didn't work out anymore. But I just question the timing of things, because, like I said, I'm getting older, so I tend to beat myself up about wasting so much time in that relationship, because now my clock is ticking. But what's for me is for me, and I have to put God first and trust God. And that's another thing. I'm a very spiritual person. I honestly wish church was open right now, so I can, but church is where you make it. Praising God is where you make it. I praise God in my own home. I wake up and I have a prayer in the morning, and when I'm struggling and I'm having a hard time, mentally, I pray. I pray to Him while I'm in the shower. I pray to Him all the time. I listen to gospel music. That's another thing. Listen to gospel music. Those are just some of the things that I felt like helped me. So hopefully some of these things can help you. I'm about to go on a cleanse, a 7-day cleanse, and then I'm going to go on like a raw diet, because I feel like when you are eating right, your mind is also like being fed very well, and you're able to think clearly. You're able to think more straight. And if you're fighting with any type of depression after a breakup, it helps with that as well. So yeah, those are just some of the things that I plan on doing, and those are just some of the things that I just want to tell you guys about. Like, I just think it's important. If you have friends and family, go around them, but focus on you. And what I will say, a lot of people be like, "Oh, excuse me, wait to, focus on yourself and get yourself together before you jump into another relationship." Now, when you're older, I honestly feel like you can wait a little bit, but don't wait too long. Still, when things are opening back up, listen, get that body right. Be you. Dress how you would dress. Do your makeup how you would do your makeup. Go out with friends and families. Don't let real love pass you by. You can definitely block a blessing by holding on what's happening in your past. So I will say that. Don't wait too long. Yeah, it's okay to, get out of this relationship and be sad and, cry and whatever the case may be. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not saying go out there and be promiscuous and have a whole bunch of sex with different guys. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is give yourself that time, but in the same token, don't be oblivious to something that may come your way, because everything works in God's time. So take care of you. Get a journal. Every day, write down how you feel, because one day you're going to look back at these thoughts. Maybe a year from today, 2 years from today, I don't know, but you're going to look back at these thoughts and you're going to be happy with the decisions that you made. So each time you think about calling that person or texting that person, jot it down. When you think about, oh, and they said this, oh, wait. So that's probably why they wanted to break up, because they did this or they did that. Listen, you can't really be thinking about like behind the scenes, because honestly, in my mind, you can't tell me my ex was talking to somebody in the time that we separated, because he became a whole another person overnight, and it just was like he needed to get me out his way so he could move on to whatever it was he needed to move on to. But you know what? I can't keep thinking about what he is doing or what he could have been doing, because guess what? God sees all. So kudos to him. I wish him the best, and I honestly do wish him the best. I'm gonna focus on me and do the best that I can. So I want my ladies out there who's going through a breakup during quarantine. Ooh, let's knock this over. To stay strong, stay strong, and follow me on Instagram at Nina Styles, NEENASTYLEZ, Nina Styles, and I will talk to you guys soon. Later.